Nearly 500 anti-trans bills have been introduced in states across the country this year alone.
All right, I'm gonna try to not be as much as an asshole as I typically am here. I'm sure some of y'all will still take it that way, but I'm gonna try and keep it real, right around a 5 versus, my typical 10. We'll see how that goes over on some of y'all.
They target everything from books and drag shows.
Drag and trans are not the same.
Even just speaking about the existence of trans people in schools. The issue of trans rights, which affects less than 1% of the US population, has become the central rallying cry for Republicans. Through concerted, strategic efforts to use trans rights as a wedge issue.
And there's no sort of wedging on your trans issue, right?
Conservatives have fear-mongered their base into a frenzy in an attempt to win votes and win elections, all at the expense of the health and physical safety of a tiny group of marginalized people, mostly children, just trying to live their lives.
It's not just as simple as live their lives. What you're trying to do, what you're attempting to do, is to rearrange society for a small percentage of children. That's what just living their life is.
These anti-trans bills are not about protecting children. They're not about fairness in sports. They're not about safety in public restrooms from potential groomers. What they're really about is a vocal, radical minority weaponizing fear and disinformation.
It is about protecting girls in girls' sports. It is about keeping boys out of girls' bathrooms. I know you love to act as if that's all just fear-mongering and rhetoric, but it happens. It does happen. We've seen it happen. It will happen. Let's just try and be a little honest here. Let's try and stick on like one track if we can. I'm sure with you that's going to be hard because I imagine this is going to be all over the place with you, I imagine.
And among the electorate to win votes, gain social media followers, and increase their political and social power.
Are you telling me the Democrats don't do things to increase their social and political power? That's both sides. That's every side. It's not just that side or their side or your side. It's all sides. It's all encompassing when it comes to gaining social and political power.
And this has been going on for decades, uniting the religious right to conspiracy theorists and white power extremists.
Okay, well, I'm not religious. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And I'm not a white supremacist. Not any of those. So we can just let all that out right now. This is me talk about trans children. That's it.
And igniting widespread fear based on threats that do not exist.
Ooh, that camera switch meant something serious. Emphasis. Emphasis on this point.
It's impossible to talk about the anti-trans movement coming to fruition in the Republican Party without also talking about homophobia, anti-feminism, and racism at the same time.
It might be impossible for you to not talk about trans and trans issues without lumping in all this other bullshit. But I can. It's sad that you can't, because I already see that you're front loading this entire conversation with a whole lot of extracurricular, whole lot of other shit. We ain't been 5 minutes into this video, and you've already front loaded racism, homophobia, anti-feminism. Come on, man. Cut the shit.
The issues are interconnected in our history, and the current flurry of anti-trans bills is simply a culmination of the perfect storm of many disparate movements coming.
There it is. You got to show that Charlottesville shot, don't you? These images that you're just flashing the entire time that you're just talking about all these other things that have nothing to do with the title of your video. Can't just get one track and stick on that, can you? Now, I imagine that's impossible for you because you love to just poison the well right out the gate, because half of y'all that are hooked into this stuff just hear that stuff and just, oh yeah, fuck bigots and anti-feminists, blah, blah, blah.
Together at the same time. But this has been a long time coming.
A long time coming.
Jesus loves me. Anita Bryant was once known as an orange juice saleswoman.
And now you're showing me clips from the 60s? Title of this video is, Why Are Conservatives So Obsessed with Trans Kids? So you feel that bringing up this woman from the 60s who was against gay links now to what people are thinking and might be against with the trans kids, right? Bro, that's fucking cheap. It's too easy with you people. Like, because God forbid you can't just speak about a topic honestly. You gotta just go back to the 60s. 60 fucking years ago. You're going back 60 fucking years to this woman that nobody watching your videos knows. That nobody who thinks anything about trans or not trans would know this woman. So what she thought and the things she was pushing for 60 fucking years ago is completely fucking irrelevant to today and today's topic and today's issue.
Not anymore. With a religious fervor that has made her America's most controversial woman overnight.
Oh God, I'm just gonna fast forward through all this shit because I'm sure this is just a whole setup of just this woman and the things she did against the gay community, as if it bears any fucking meaning to the topic of trans. Why are conservatives so obsessed with trans children? And I'm gonna set this woman up from the 60s. I'm fast forwarding through this shit. I don't give a fuck about this woman at all. She bears no meaning to what I think or why I think it. So, fast forward.
Those were officially done away with in the 2003 Supreme Court case Lawrence v. Texas, which was a galvanizing force that became obsolete with the Supreme Court's Obergefell ruling in 2015, legalizing gay marriage nationwide.
You made a 30-minute video titled, "Why are conservatives so obsessed with trans kids?" We are now 12 minutes into it, and you haven't even touched the topic. We're halfway through your video, and you haven't spoken once about conservatives and their thoughts about trans kids. Like, you're setting up this entire straw man that no one's fucking arguing. No one's arguing from this woman's point of view from the 60s or these other groups that you're naming from the 70s. We're not living in that world anymore. I know you all fucking want to view it as if we were. Like, motherfuckers for the most part can live their life any fucking way they want to do within fucking reason. It's the same for hetero folks, straight folks. They can't just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Like, it's so fucking cheap, yo. You got all this good lighting and camera and side angle cuts and fucking punchline this. You ain't even broached the topic that you titled this video after, and we're halfway into it.
And while there are still evangelicals who are mad about the gay marriage thing, the vast majority of Americans are in favor of allowing the gays to wed.
That's right. Most motherfuckers don't care, because most of that shit is fucking gone and past. I know y'all want to think that we're living in just this god-awful fucking time and place and history, but we're not. Like, motherfuckers in 2023 America can do damn near any fucking thing they want to do. Fuck me, man. Like, the whole last month, y'all motherfuckers been parading down the street asshole naked. Like, what the fuck? Like, what else could you want to do that you're not fucking doing? Is it just because motherfuckers are telling yo, leave kids alone, let kids grow up? That's your one last fucking true hang up? You've gotten everything else that y'all have ever wanted for the last 60 fucking years. You just showed it. You just laid a whole thing out of all these people that were fighting against this 60 years ago and how those are no longer issues. Oh, in the 60s, this woman didn't like this. And in the 70s, this guy got Reagan elected. And oh, in the 90s, people, thought only you get AIDS from being gay and just all that. Okay, well, none of that is the case anymore. You just admitted that all those things you just brought up are no longer issues. So what the fuck are you bringing any of it up for?
It no longer has the ability to whip the electorate into a fear-mongered frenzy like it once did. But the religious right still had one thing. They still had abortion. Pictures of tiny fetuses, heartbeats, and fingernails in the womb.
So we're now talking about abortion? Like you don't know how to talk about anything, honestly, do you? You've just got this checklist of rhetoric that you've got programmed into your head. It's just a checklist. You just go down. Bing, 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 bing. Anti-feminism, homophobia, anti-woman, anti-abortion, anti-gay, blah, 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 racism, blah, 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 blah. It's just a fucking checklist of rhetoric that y'all just run down every time. I imagine if I fucking went through all your past videos, it would just be the same shit. Religious right, homophobia, anti-feminism, white supremacy. I'm telling you, I guarantee it. I'm not 15 minutes into your fucking video, and like I know your entire thought process to anything. If you could even call it a thought process. It's just a checklist of rhetoric that y'all just bleh, bleh.
These ideas still created a fervor in the religious right, enough to get them to show up to the polls at far greater numbers than any other voting bloc. And thanks to the tireless work of the religious right since the 1970s...
How many times can you say religious right in fucking one sentence? Like I'm telling you, in 60 seconds, you said religious right 10 fucking times. Like, god damn. I'm not religious. I'm not on the right. I don't give a fuck if you're white. Fuck white. So there we go. Like, because I'm none of that. I'm none of those bullshit ad homs that you would throw at anybody who's not lockstep with you. I know you'll probably claim I am or think I am because I'm just a white man, blah, 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 blah. But I actually know how to think. I can think past the initial straw man emotional rhetoric that you motherfuckers just live and die by.
Inserting religion into politics and requiring pretty much any Republican who wants to be president to appeal to the religious right. Since Reagan onward, they finally got the person they had always dreamed of in the White House. Donald Trump. An orange muppet who would say and do whatever it takes with impunity to gain more followers and power.
Name one that wouldn't do and say whatever it took to get into that position. I'll wait. You need a Wikipedia it, maybe? Because they're all Bush, Clinton, Obama, Biden, you name them. They could all fall into that category that you just laid out. They're all fucking politicians. They're all slimy fucking lying scumbags. All of them. On the left, on the right. They're all that. It's not just the religious right. Religious fervor of the religious right and blah, 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 blah.
He rallied the religious right, 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 the religious right. And he put in the judges necessary to make real legal change in this country. And he paved the way for Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health to make its way to the Supreme Court, giving them, many of them being recently appointed by Trump, another chance to finally do away with abortion protections across the country.
Is it only the right that appoints judges when they're president? Yeah? No, it's just the right that appointed judges, to figure stuff out politically in a way that would get what they want done, right? Yeah, no, the folks on the left don't never do that, right? It's just the religious right. It's just the religious right.
A real victory for the religious right, who are dead set on protecting fetuses, but fuck parents and fuck kids once they're out of the womb, especially if they're black or brown.
And especially when they're black or brown. It's like I'm listening to a 10-year-old. Just this garbled fucking vomited fucking word salad of just rhetoric. We're 14 minutes into a 24-minute video, and you've said nothing of substance. You've presented all this history with your ideologically driven beliefs about it. This isn't just some rundown of the last 60 years. This is a religious right fucking spin.
But then the religious right ran into a pesky little problem. All of their traditional wedge issues, abortion, gay marriage, gay sex, they'd all been done away with, either solved in the case of abortion or no longer the galvanizing force that brings people to the polls like they once were. And so the religious right had to change course, and quickly. Back in 2016, after the gays were allowed to wed, the religious right was like, what new thing about the gays could we get people whipped up into a voting frenzy about?
Trans is not the gays. So it's not about what can we figure out about the gays that could whip somebody in. This has nothing to do with fucking gay. And you keep fucking bringing up the religious right. I'm saying it's every sentence that you've fucking spewed in this video has been religious right somewhere in it. Goddamn, you still ain't fucking talked about trans shit yet.
Well, we've kind of exhausted our options with the L and the G. The B, I don't know, do bisexuals even really exist? They're also sometimes hetero, so probably fine.
The G and the L ain't the T. They're two completely different categories. Somehow they got lumped into all of it. I guess it's because of the marginalized groups. I guess that's how they fit into that. But they ain't like the L and the G.
And then what's the next letter? Oh yeah, T. Wow, now T is an interesting option. There have been some national headlines in recent years that had brought trans rights to the forefront in a way that had never happened before. Laverne Cox played a main character role in Orange is the New Black starting in 2013, becoming the first openly trans person to be nominated for an Emmy in an acting category, and later the first to win the award. Chelsea Manning's leak of sensitive documents and transition while going through the legal process made national and international news, and her sentence was commuted by President Obama in 2016. In April 2015, Caitlyn Jenner came out publicly as a trans woman, appearing in a 2020 segment and on the cover of Vanity Fair magazine as the first out trans woman to appear on the cover. So trans visibility was having a moment, and as with any progress, there was, of course, some backlash. But it took the conservatives a bit of time to get it right. They started with bathroom bills. In 2016, again, the main motive to get them to the polls is fear.
Oh yeah, because Democrats don't do that, right? They don't do wedge issues or rip into a fervent fear, right? That's just the religious right. That's just the religious right. It's not the left.
So they thought, hey, what if we told people that trans women were really just men in disguise as women so they can go into women's bathrooms and attack you? Yeah.
Sometimes they are. It may not be often, but what if it happened once? Is one time not too many? Because it has. It will happen. You're talking about people here. You're talking about humans. Motherfuckers do crazy fucking shit. The law or not the fucking law. So if in the end it does protect a couple, it's all fucking worth it. I swear to God, y'all want to rearrange society for what you fucking deem a very small percentage of children. Motherfuckers will do that shit. Men will fucking dress up as women and go into a bathroom and do some fucking crazy shit. With or without the law. Don't fucking matter, you're right. The law won't stop somebody that's going to do something either fucking way.
Yeah, that'll get them riled up. In 2016, North Carolina legislators voted to bar transgender people from using the bathroom that didn't correspond with their assigned gender at birth. The backlash was swift and harsh from corporations, sports teams, and even Bruce Springsteen, so that lawmakers eventually rescinded the bill. Because bathroom bills are dumb, y'all. Men who want to attack and assault women aren't going to be dissuaded by a law that says you can't enter a woman's bathroom.
Because people won't be dissuaded by the law, does that mean that we now don't make a law? So murder. Even though there's a law against murder, saying, hey bro, don't do it, we're gonna lock you up if you do it, but they still do it. Does that now mean that we just get rid of that law? Fuck that law. People ain't gonna listen to it no way. Get rid of the law. Murder's no longer illegal. People still gonna do it anyway, right? There's people that don't follow the law. Just gonna do it.
Like, I'll rape and murder, but going into the wrong bathroom, that's where I draw the line. And people kind of knew that. And the issue, while popular with the fear-mongering Fox News crowd, really didn't get people riled up in the way that conservatives knew needed to happen for them to turn out in droves and vote. So, advocacy groups began polling to determine whether curbing transgender rights had resonance with voters, and if so, how to best talk about the issue. Because again, this has never been about protecting children.
It's so easy for you to just roll that off your tongue too. That like there can't be a reasonable, common sense having person out there that's not religious, that's not on the right, that's not on any of the bullshit ad homs that you would throw at somebody. It's like, because those people just don't exist, right? You know, they can't exist. If they don't agree with me, they gotta be the religious right, or homophobes, or racist, or anti-feminism, or all these other fucking bullshits that you just love fucking throwing out.
Or about Christian morals. It's always been about power, getting elected and staying elected.
That's any fucking body, regardless of policies or laws or the things that they're bringing up. That's anybody running for fucking office. That's 99.9% of every single fucking body that runs for fucking office, that runs for a seat in the Senate, or the House, or the president. They're all looking for power. Jesus fucking Christ, like it's only the fucking Republicans that are looking for power, right?
And polling found that, in particular, voters were significantly more likely to support a Republican candidate who favored a ban on transgender girls participating in school sports than on transgender people using bathrooms.
Because they shouldn't be playing sports with girls. With actual fucking girls. Have you not seen the track runners?
I had like these pink and purple furry boots that I wear.
Andrea Yearwood says even as a child, she identified as a girl.
Learn to like, I guess, deal with it and I guess grow tougher skin.
Yearwood is a sophomore at Cromwell High School.
Have you not seen the volleyball players?
You're on that's the trans player that we have the green circle around.
Have you not seen the swimmers? Like, a real woman, an actual fucking woman, will be booted from the finals, from the championship, from the whatever, by a boy. It's happening. It happened. It will continue to happen.
Especially if the issue is framed as a question of whether to allow men and boys to compete against women and girls. It's common knowledge in political polling and analysis that the form of a question matters, and that in order to get unbiased results, you need to frame the question in a way that doesn't lead the pollee to a certain outcome or conclusion.
You think the left doesn't do that? You think the left doesn't word things in ways that will get them the results that they want from the polls that they're offering? Like, that's any and every fucking one.
However, the opposite can also be weaponized by politicians. So instead of asking, should trans girls compete on girls' sports teams?
No.
Which is almost obvious in its outcome. Trans girls sports team makes sense.
That makes no fucking sense. And I'm not gonna let you just sweep it under this fucking rug of anti-feminism, racism, homophobia. Like, they shouldn't. Like, they're only being excluded from girls' sports if they're born a fucking boy and want to go play with the girls. They can go play fucking any sport they want with the fucking boys. But God forbid, yo, they fucking want to go play against girls. And you're just talking as if that's just a no-brainer. Trans girls are girls. Well, they should be playing with the girls. Obviously. Of course.
Instead, they frame it as, should boys compete against girls?
No.
The insinuation being that trans girls are really just boys in disguise.
It's what they are. They're acting like they're girls. They're pretending to be girls. Like, they're not going to get ovarian cancer. They're not going to get a menstrual cycle. They're not going to become pregnant. Like, they got a real high risk of getting colon cancer. Like, there's just realities for men and women. Women get certain things, men don't get them. Women don't get certain things, men get them.
And the obvious answer to conservatives with strict ideals of the gender binary is no, of course not. That wouldn't be fair. So you're framing the question in a way that determines the outcome, but then letting the person reading the question feel like it was their own idea, that it was unfair.
Oh man, these motherfuckers, they just didn't quite realize the question they were being asked, and they got fooled into answering that, right? Yeah, no, yeah, because they wouldn't have answered it if they'd have worded it the way you wish it had been worded.
Using these findings, conservatives ran with the approach of barring trans kids from competing in sports. Because, according to the research, that's what got voters riled up.
Research or no fucking research, motherfuckers ain't with that shit. News articles, videos, Fox News, religious right, all these things. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. If I start hearing boys born as boys are now racing against the girls in an 8th grade track meet, I got a fucking problem with that. And just because you now want to change the definition of words to fit your fucking narrow-minded worldview, that don't work either. I'm not going to let you do it. You might be able to do that with all your fans or followers, the brain-dead motherfuckers that they are. You ain't going to do this shit with me.
And then that quickly snowballed into the think of the children rallying cry.
People fucking argue that from the left. That's their argument on the left of saying that kids should be able to do all this stuff. The children. Think of the children. They know. They know what they want to be. They know if they want to be the other gender. They know that, like, think of those children. You think that's not your fucking argument? Because it is. It's the same fucking argument on its flip. Let me guess. It'll be the religious right, though, right? I know that's coming.
That is so popular amongst conservatives, which then led to questions of children being turned trans in schools. What books are being taught in our schools that need to be banned?
Should we read children Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf? In the 3rd grade, we'll just start reading Adolf to them. And that book's not banned. It's about appropriateness. It's about the appropriateness to the age of the child in question. We're talking about kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd to 4th grade. It's not banning a book because it's not in the school library. Your parents can still buy you that book. You can still go on Amazon as soon as you get home from school and order any book to your heart's content. The argument is what books are appropriate or not appropriate for an elementary school library-aged child.
And wait, why are kids even transitioning and playing sports for a different gender to begin with? Think of the children.
Think of the children.
And we should probably ban those medical procedures because they seem wrong. And voila, the conservatives had themselves a new wedge issue.
Yeah, because this come out of nowhere, right? It was totally, if it weren't for the religious right bringing it up, this wouldn't even have been an issue, right? Kids wouldn't have been transing. There wouldn't have been any books that nobody had any issues with. All this would have just been water under the bridge. Nobody would have known about anything. And we'd have just multiplied trans kids in the last 10 years by fucking thousands. By thousands. Looking at some of these teachers, like this one.
This has been my first year in preschool with a class of my own, teaching alongside another queer neurodivergent educator, and we have been rocking our Two's class. We've been talking about gender.
This one.
Rockland Charter School Academy for having transgender discussions in a kindergarten class.
That one
is for our students to be able to wear the clothes that their parents approve of, come to school, and then swap out into the clothes that fit who they truly are.
These people are ideologues. They're not just an unbiased trying to fucking raise children up to teach them how to be good people and adults in the world. These motherfuckers ain't trying to do none of that shit. These motherfuckers are ideologues. They're partisan fucking biased hack, politically fucking driven clowns that are just their entire identity. It's pathetic as shit. I can't imagine, your whole fucking existence being surrounded by your sexuality. Everything you do has to be fucking centered around who you are sexually. Like, that's a lame fucking existence if I've ever fucking heard one. There's more to life than that. Fucking so much more to life than who the fuck you want to fuck or not.
That would once again galvanize the voter base and get them to turn up in the polls. In March 2020, Idaho became the first state to bar transgender girls from participating in girls' and women's sports.
Good.
Which was called the Fairness in Women's Sports Act.
Fairness in women's sports. Like, what's fair? What's fair? Who knows what fair is? Let's just let them all play. I mean, if that's what you want to do, just get rid of all gendered separation and just let them all play. That's the solution to your problem right there. Get rid of all gendered sports. There's only one team. There's one fucking football team. There's one fucking baseball team. There's one fucking basketball team. There's one fucking track team. That's it. You don't make it? Try next year.
And 1 year later, Arkansas became the first state to enact legislation making it illegal for minors to receive transition medication or surgery. This legislation was based on model language first used in South Dakota that didn't initially pass there, but created the framework that was then used nationwide to curb trans rights. The model language was created by lawmakers.
Everything you spew is fucking modeled fucking language. Every word you fucking choose to use is very modeled fucking language. Telling you, it's just rhetoric. It's just memorized rhetoric. All shit that you fucking read and been pumped full of from other ideologues that you're just lockstep with.
In cahoots with religious right-affiliated groups, including the Child and Parental Rights Campaign, the Alliance Defending Freedom, the Phyllis Schlafly-founded Eagle Forum, and a fringe conservative doctors group that calls itself the American College of Pediatricians. Email exchanges obtained by Mother Jones.
You think there aren't groups of left-wing activists doing all that same shit? Everything you just talked about of all these right-wing groups that are doing all these things to get legislation passed happens on the left. It happens with the same people that are trying to get all that stuff passed that these people don't want passed. That's how a democratic republic fucking works. People agree, people disagree. We give and take. We find middle ground. What can I give you that you can give me? It's not all you and none of me. It's give and take. That's what a democracy is. Motherfuckers don't want it, so they're trying to figure out how to stop it. Motherfuckers want it, so they're trying to figure out ways to get it done. That's politics. Fucking
show members of these groups pushing lawmakers in South Dakota to make the laws more restrictive and to ensure that the language was ironclad.
Who wouldn't want to make a law that's fucking ironclad with people like you trying to finagle any little fucking modeled language out of anything to figure out ways to do what you want done around the laws? That's smart. Like, that's how you would do it. If you were putting fucking it in law that people could do all the things you want them to do, you would be sure to word it in ways that it covered everything you wanted it to cover. That in no way could somebody on the religious right fucking come in and be able to work around it. That's what you would do. That's what anyone with common fucking sense does.
At least 18 states have introduced legislation with language mirroring the original model bill created for South Dakota, and the religious right has helped establish a sophisticated playbook to get this legislation passed.
You want to talk about fucking playbooks? You think fucking the left ain't got a playbook? You think Antifa ain't got no fucking playbook? You think BLM ain't got no fucking playbook? All them people's got playbooks. Everybody got playbooks. Everybody's got thoughts and beliefs and rules and ways of doing shit that they think is the best way to do it. Like, you're not fucking spitting nothing secret here. Like, in the fact that you would think it's like a one-off with just these guys fucking are trying to fucking work shit out.
Including pushing disinformation, utilizing the conservative media to instill fear, and even capitalizing.
When we go turn MSNBC on, you think what they're doing ain't instilling fear? Talk about fascism on the rise, banning books. You know, that's not a wedge issue, right? You know, that's not modeled language. None of that is things that people have thought about and figured this is the way we need to go about this if we want to get the people on our side that we want on our side, right? You know, it's just them. Just the religious conservatives. Just the anti-feminists. And you've never had pushback in your fucking life, I guarantee it. Anybody that fucking pushes back just an inch on you, I guarantee falls right into that religious, blah, blah, anti-feminist, racist fucking bullshit you motherfuckers love to call everybody.
And even capitalizing on the handful of vocal people who have detransitioned and now are a powerful tool for conservatives, hoping to show that because this one person—
more than just that one. Hundreds, thousands at this point. Because motherfuckers are realizing, I got pushed down a fucking road that solved an issue that wasn't even their fucking issue. Motherfuckers got far more many problems than just this one size fits all fucking trans them. All better now, right? Let's cut that dick off. Slap you a molded looking whatever. There you go, you're grown now. Ta-da!
And regrets having transitioned, then all of trans affirmative care is bad and dangerous.
Damn sure fucking most of it. Because these motherfuckers are affirming immediately. It's an immediate affirm them. Affirm them, get them going. Sign them up. Head over to Rite Aid, get all your pills. Come back in a couple months, we'll get you scheduled for the fucking plastic surgeon. I guarantee that's what you think is the best course of action. Affirm them, get them on meds, chop them up. Affirmation care.
These anti-trans bills are not popping up on a state-specific level from local grassroots movements trying to create laws in their own state. It is a nationwide, concerted, and strategic effort by outside forces who want to come in.
That's a real cheap fucking way of erasing everyone. Everyone. You just lump everybody into this one fucking, like, no one would think what they're thinking if not for this national fucking effort to get this stuff, anti-trans stuff pushed, right? No one would have come to that thought on their own if not for Fox News and all these other things pushing this anti-trans stuff, right? Yeah, no, nobody's got the sense to think this through for more than a second, right? Let's just listen to you. You know all the answers, I'm fucking sure, right?
And influence state elections. And while it is very common and truly preferable for lawmakers to consult with experts on the bills that they're writing, that becomes a very different story when the experts are spouting pseudoscience, largely motivated by a specific religious doctrine that they'd like to impose on everyone.
Religion ain't got nothing to do with why I think of what I think. I think girls should have the option to, if we're gonna have a girls category, if we will have a women specific category, that they should be the ones to say, stay out, bro. You're not welcome. Sorry. We can treat you nice and all that other shit with all the other shit, but you ain't gonna be coming in here changing with us. You're not gonna be coming out here competing for the same medals we're competing for. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with fucking all these groups or all this other shit. Like, you love to fucking just conflate everyone underneath this fucking rug of, oh, well, they wouldn't even think it if it wasn't smart fucking lobbyists and all these other people that are fucking pushing this agenda, right? Like, have you not watched any fucking thing? Like, everything on the television is your side. 95% of anything you see on television, marketing, commercials, it's all pushing your shit. They love it. Chewing it up. Fucking swallowing it, loving every fucking bite of it. Y'all don't think shit. Y'all don't think nothing fucking through. You just see that flag and, oh my God, I love it. Yes, here's my money. Here's my money. Take it. I love that flag. That flag is me. That flag represents me.
And working in concerted, strategic ways throughout the country. The result of this effort is a dramatic rise in anti-trans bills, with nearly 500 winding their way through the legislative process this year alone.
Oh, nearly 500 anti-trans bills. Hey, let's make them wait till they're 18. Let's make them wait till they're 18. Let's not talk to elementary school age children about sex and gender. Is anti-trans and religious zealotry and I'm sure all this other bullshit. Anti-feminism, homophobia, blah, 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 blah. That's completely anti-pseudoscience, right? Let's make the kids wait till they're 18 and we're not letting no boys play with the girls in no sports and they're staying out of girls' bathrooms. That's anti, right? You can do what you want to do, but you're not going to fucking impose your delusions on other people to affirm or confirm you. Don't work like that.
This despite the fact that a 2021 PBS-NPR Marist poll showed that 2/3 of Americans oppose bills limiting the rights of transgender people.
You got the nerve to not 10 fucking minutes ago talk about how people word polls and how they could do it to get certain things across that they want done. And then you quote a fucking PBS-NPR poll. Yeah, no, that's completely just an unbiased, open-minded fucking, we got everybody underneath this net to where now 2/3 of Americans oppose bills limiting the rights of transgender people. None of that is comparable to that shit you set up earlier about how people word polls and how things can be misleading to get the numbers that you want for things, right? I'm sure this is completely not that. This is completely the other end of that spectrum.
However, these bills, of course, aren't posed as limiting the rights of transgendered people. They're pitched as securing rights for women in sports and as protecting children from woke indoctrination and grooming. And these talking points and fears have their root both in the bedrock of the religious right, but also in the growth of white power movement.
Oh, there it is. White power. Charlottesville. Be scared. Fire. Flame. People screaming. Yeah, screaming. They're fucking anti-you. Fuck me, man. You don't know nobody like that. I'd fucking bet money you don't know any motherfucker that would fall into that Charlottesville category. I don't know anybody that would fall into that Charlottesville category. No one. I don't know anyone. Nothing. I've been alive 42 fucking years. I ain't never known somebody who would have been down there at Charlottesville. I don't know one of them. I don't know one person who saw Charlottesville and was like, yeah, bro, I'm with that. Not one person.
since the election of Donald Trump. Remember last week when we talked about book bans and how Nazis burned tens of thousands of books?
Book burnings, y'all. Watch this footage from the late 1930s, almost 100 years ago, halfway around the world, with people who are entirely uncomparable with what's going on the topic at hand. Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's watch these Nazis burn Jewish books. It's totally the same, guys. These Nazis burning books from the 1930s is totally the same, guys.
Racism, homophobia, and transphobia, which together essentially boil down to the idea that whites should be able to live normally and by themselves, are perceived today as beyond the sphere of this deified love.
What the fuck is this website? You talking about this website is giving more attention to it than anyone would have had about it 10 fucking minutes ago. Like, nobody's looking at these fucking websites. Nobody's reading these fucking articles. I swear to God, it's like y'all troll the internet for just like the worst, dumbest shit in the world, and then just throw that as if that's everyone's arguments. Anybody who thinks contrary to what I think falls into this category. Nazi book burnings, white supremacist newsletter websites.
And are therefore representative of a kind of modern heresy. Basically, gayness, gender nonconformity, and anti-racism are seen as an attack on the existence of white people.
I'm white, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like, you're making people give a fuck. That's what it ultimately comes down to. If it was truly as simple as motherfuckers just want to live their life and be treated like everybody else, you're going to get most of that. You'll get most of that in 2023 America. But nobody gets 100% of that. Not even the hetero, straight, normal motherfuckers don't get 100% of that. Like, it's just not the fucking way the world works. Like, y'all want your cake and fucking eat it too. That's what you want. You're not gonna get it. You're gonna get pushback. Like, you motherfuckers could have lived your lives fucking 10, 15 years ago and just been to the fucking moon. But now, you gotta rearrange everything to fucking fit underneath this narrow-minded fucking worldview y'all got. And compare everything to Nazis. Everything gets lumped into racist, homophobia, anti-feminism, transphobia, anti.
This is a stark example of how racism and transphobia are intertwined in the modern white power movement.
Racism and transphobia are not intertwined with shit. Like, you're intertwining it. And you're quoting these fucking bootleg-ass fucking non-looked-at fucking articles that don't nobody fucking claim or use or read or share. Like, motherfuckers ain't talking about this shit. Like, if you had never brought it up, nobody would have even known about that fucking no-named fucking article. And then somehow that's fucking intertwined. This is a stark example of how racism and transphobia are intertwined with the white power movement. Like, you don't know it. You don't know a fucking white supremacist. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. You don't know a fucking white supremacist. Least of all, think that it's just this stark fucking example of fucking this bullshit you claim it is. Because no, it's not. It's not. It isn't.
Gender nonconformity threatens their worldview, one that is fixated on immutable and antiquated gender roles, where white women are seen as walking wombs that must be used to replenish the declining white birth rates.
What? Like, are there a fringe fucking group of fucking people who probably think that dumbass shit? Sure. There's a lot of people think a lot of dumb fucking shit. But, like, your conflation of that with people that just fucking don't want boys playing against the girls or boys in girls' bathrooms is fucking pathetic. Like, you can't make an argument without just having to fucking poison the well with everything. You poison the well from every angle before you even get to your argument. Before you even get to the crux of your argument, which ain't been shit yet. You have yet to fucking make a goddamn argument. But every fucking corner you turn, you set this straw man up of all these fucking assholes that are the extreme minority of people. You fucking poll the next 1,000 people you fucking meet, 990 fucking 8 of them ain't with all that bullshit you just spoke. 998 out of 1,000 ain't never seen that article, ain't never read that article, ain't never been to that fucking website, and would fucking deny any of it that was in it. I don't give a fuck what that dude's talking about. That motherfucker's talking stupid. He don't speak for me. He don't speak for fucking nobody but his dumbass self. Got the nerve to bring that up as if fucking there's any sort of connection.
And reverse replacement of the white race by non-white children. The desirable qualities in a woman are chastity, submission, and silence. And the vitriol and hate being spouted on far-right neo-Nazi chat rooms and blogs is often reiterated and given validation by Fox News hosts.
That's such bullshit. Like, you wouldn't let somebody do that with your argument. You wouldn't let somebody fucking link all these other bullshit motherfuckers to your argument of what you think and why you think it. Like, you wouldn't let somebody do that, so why do you do that to everybody else? Like, it's fucking corny as shit. And how half y'all are just, yeah, man, Fox News fucking loves talking fucking white supremacy. Like, only fucking mentally retarded motherfuckers would think that. I'm telling you. And I don't even fucking like Fox News. Fuck Fox News. But the fact, yo, that you, like, have to fucking bring in all this white supremacy and promoted by Fox News and this and that. Make your fucking argument, dude. Like, make a fucking argument, or you just can't. That's more, I'm definitely leaning more towards that you just cannot make a fucking argument. You ain't never thought your argument out. It's just the rhetoric checklist that you just go through. Bing, 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 bing.
Prominent influencers spouting disinformation and pushing the narrative that LGBT people are child groomers, like Libs of TikTok, a Twitter account with over 2 million followers.
Libs of TikTok, over 2 million followers on Twitter, who got as big as she did solely, truly, only for the fucking reason that she reposted videos that Looney Tune motherfuckers made themselves. She reposted videos that other people made. That's what she did. You could think all the other dumb shit in the fucking world, but that's all that woman did. That woman got as big as she did because she was reposting people that were almost unbelievably insane. That to anybody with a lick of fucking common sense would see and just be like, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker's crazy. Jesus Christ, they crazy. Holy shit, that's fucking loony. Like, Libs of TikTok ain't got nothing to do with shit. Like, you're bringing her up for no fucking reason and linking her to white supremacy.
And via speeches by Donald Trump, where he either blatantly espouses the same values or gives the Proud Boys a nod and a wink on national television.
Stand back and stand down, guys. Yeah, no, that's a nod and a wink. You don't have a single fucking original thought in that big ass head of yours.
Writer and researcher Talia Lavin sums it up well in a recent article.
Oh, sums it up well. Oh yeah, I'm sure she sums it up chef's kiss fucking well.
Writing, what the far right proclaims through explicit street violence, it wants to reinforce with the implicit violence of the state.
Antifa don't do that? Or the people who act like Antifa don't do that? Because I'm sure you're fucking one of them, oh, Antifa's not a thing, it's just a belief. Oh, no, Antifa's not a group. Who's the leader? Antifa can't be a thing. Who's the leader? Because Antifa's a fucking thing. And there are groups, and there are leaders, and there are followers, and there's fucking connections, and getting out there and fucking shit up, fucking people up that are pushing for their shit too. It's not a one-way street. The far right is fucking doing it. Every side is out there pushing for shit and getting violent. Everybody's violent at this fucking point. People on the left, people on the right, everybody's fucking violent at this point. Like, it ain't just one side that's suddenly violent.
Bills that seek to suppress anti-racist education, anti-trans legislation that seeks to codify antiquated gender roles, and the severe and continual restriction of abortion rights in states with right-wing legislatures typify the ways hatred of gender nonconformity, a desire to control women's bodies, and racism intermingle.
That was a fucking tub full of nothing. That was fucking 4 or 5 sentences of everything that you've just said in the last 15 minutes. That's all that was. That was just a reaffirmation of your own bullshit premises. You could have taken that clip completely fucking out of your video, and people are no more different, better off or worse than the video that they've already watched. Because everything, you've been saying up until then was that. Everything. You could have made a 24 fucking minute video and just shown those 4 sentences. You said the exact same shit for 20 fucking minutes. And then you play this 4 sentence fucking little combo saying the same shit you just said. Like, and it's all bullshit. It's all rhetoric. It's all fucking buzzwords and rhetoric.
As a result of this, the last 2 years have been the deadliest for transgender people, especially Black transgender women, with nearly 1 in 5 of all hate crimes motivated by anti-LGBTQ bias.
I would need to see them stats. I did check your video for them, and they weren't there. And I'm not about to go looking for your fucking brought out of nowhere fucking stats. But that's... just as much as you probably don't believe half the stats you fucking read, I'd have some real serious questions about those stats. Is it because they're trans? Was that something that they just happened to be trans and they got hurt? Like, there's a whole lot of fucking other shit that could be a reason why somebody gets fucked up. But if you think there's just bands of fucking people just roaming the street fucking up trans people, you're fucking lying. And I guarantee you, if it's Black trans women who are getting fucked up the worst, I'll put money it ain't fucking white people doing it. You won't bet that? You won't bet that it ain't fucking the whites that are doing all these hate crimes against fucking Black trans? Bet that. Bet it ain't.
Trans Americans are 4 times more likely to be victims of violent crime.
I need to see all these stats. I need to see them because everybody's at risk of something bad happening to them. Everybody. Walking down the street, anyone has a risk of something happening and somebody fucking hurting you. That's just the reality of the world in 2023. We are all less safe in 2023 due to all sorts of shit. Due to what we're watching, what we're listening to, what you're listening to, what I'm listening to. Everything plays its role in what people do and what they're not doing in a sense of hurting other people. But this just fucking conflation as if like suddenly like these people are only getting hurt because they're trans. I'm calling bullshit. Like, and you don't know that. You don't fucking know other than probably some article you fucking read that did all the things you say the right-wing motherfuckers are doing and spun this fucking narrative to get you to fucking believe this shit. I guarantee it. Like, it's that simple. It's that fucking simple. Everybody's getting hurt. Everybody getting hurt, and it's wrong. Anybody who gets hurt should not be getting hurt. Whether for their sex, their gender, their race, is wrong. And it shouldn't be fucking happening. But you with all these conflations, just making it just fucking, it's probably just racist white people that are hurting fucking black trans people. I'm calling bullshit.
86% of trans or non-binary youth reported in a 2022 survey that they experienced negative effects on their mental health stemming from the political debate around trans issues.
All people's mental health is affected in one way or another with all this stuff. Like, it's not just y'all. Like, I swear to fucking God, so what? So what? That's terrible. What do you want to do about it? Fucking talk about racism? You want to talk about homophobia and this chick from the 60s? Is that how you plan to combat the 86% of people who have mental health issues about the political atmosphere of all this stuff? That's your plan of attack? Let's call everybody a bigot. Let's call everybody anti-feminist. Let's call everybody fucking racist. And let's see how well that clears the fucking air. You fucking asshole.